All right, everyone. The UN is having a bitch fit again. Yes, the United States is actually taking, a situation seriously with regards to our border defense and actually acting appropriately in a military fashion, by the way, of course. Finally doing that in an appropriate manner under one of our literal constitutional guides, which is, hey, we're going to roam the high seas effectively. The first military action after the revolution was killing a bunch of pirates. They weren't the cool kind of pirates like me, by the way. They were slave trading and things like that. So there's a little bit of a difference. But the United States has been built on a maritime model since its inception, quite literally. The first branch of the U.S. military was the U.S. Marines, and they were there to guard ports and ships and shit like that, since the U.S. naval officers couldn't do it themselves. Just saying, I'm Team Marine. No offense meant. It's just a joke. But the UN under Burke there. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's Austrian. They're whining about the fact that the United States is striking boats in the Caribbean. When last I checked in the Gulf of America, which is what it is now officially called, we have supremacy. There's no reason for boats from other countries to be approaching your territorial waters without permission. If they're coming from Venezuela, they're probably coming with malintent. And these boats aren't overloaded with people, they're overloaded with other conspicuous things that weigh them down, by the way, in some cases, that can only be drugs or illegal weapons or something like that. It's a smuggling operation. What are we supposed to do? Just fucking sit there and do absolutely nothing? I do not support striking Venezuela proper. But if it goes out of Venezuelan waters into international waters and is clearly headed for you, and you know what the fucking cargo is, it makes sense to take action. The hope is that if you do this enough times, they will stop doing it altogether, because they will realize that it is no longer profitable. Profit plays a huge role in such actions. We know that the Maduro regime, for example, is cozied up to these groups. They're linked directly to the communist militia that's down in Venezuela that tyrannizes the population. These are the only people, by the way, in the country other than the soldiers that have guns. They're part of the outer party, so to speak. They're loyalists, tens of thousands of them. They're partnered directly with the narcos. We've known this for decades. This is not a new thing. The only new thing that's going on right now is that we're doing something about it. But now the UN is salty over the fact that we're doing something about it. Well, why don't you fuck off? Most of you are based in Europe. You do not appear to be in the Americas. I believe this is a different hemisphere. Why don't you suck your own dick backwards and fucking fuck off? Because it's not your territory. Hell, Trump should invoke the Monroe Doctrine and just say, okay, well, I mean, the hemisphere is basically ours anyway. We're the ones that are guaranteeing, your safety against colonialism, specifically European colonialism. Ironically enough, these days, more Chinese colonialism. We're the ones defending you, so we're going to exact a toll on you if you fuck around. Now, I don't even believe in the drug war. I do not care if a person obtains cocaine. I don't care if they shoot heroin. I just want it to be made in the USA. That's the only thing that I'm asking, if only for economic purposes. The drug war has been an abysmal failure. Finally, we're doing something that's actually meaningful. Like, this is probably the most successful policy with regards to drug trafficking that we've ever seen, because we're bullseyeing ships out of the ocean with rockets and shit like that, and it's kind of funny to watch. This is the most successful, and finally they found something they can bitch about. So the UN doesn't care if drugs are created in the United States and they're proliferating everywhere, even if they get shipped into Europe. After all, you get open borders over there, so it's not going to be very difficult to do. But if ships are literally invading our country, narco ships, and some of these, they're not even drug related, probably. It's probably related to terrorism. What are we supposed to do? Just round them up? Yeah, I mean, put our people in danger in order to bother rounding the ship up instead of just blowing it out of the water? That doesn't seem very pragmatic to me. I mean, if you do board the vessel, of course, then you can resell the drugs. But as long as the drug war is going on, that's not a thing. So here's my mild suggestion. Why don't we end the war on drugs in the United States? And then we beef up the Coast Guard and we rally these ships up. We just round them up, pull them into port, being kill the people aboard. That's fine too. Some of them might be trafficked instead of traffickers, so you'll have to vet them a bit. But then you get a pile of drugs. Well, we can just sell the drugs. We can actually make money doing this. I think that that's a good idea. It may seem absurdist until you actually really think about the numerics involved and realize, shit, that could actually work. Hell, it would be a hysterical public policy, and it'd terrify the hell out of the commies down there, so I don't see that there's any real drawback for this. The fact is that the UN is worthless anyway, though. Like, nobody listens to them. Who the fuck listens to the UN? The UN doesn't even listen to the UN. These people are useless. They'll bitch about some policy in some country and never do anything. UN looking at Darfur, which, by the way, has collapsed completely at this point. There is the whole region is completely imploded. The UN sat back since I was in goddamn high school and fundamentally did nothing. Nobody helped them. The one group of people that wanted foreign forces to actually do a land campaign in their country, they were the ones that were left, out of the rain, so to speak. Meanwhile, we spent our time invading half a dozen other countries. It was pointless. Pathetic. That's what the UN is. Pathetic would probably be the single word in the English language that describes them best. It's nothing that you're going to do about it. What are you going to do? You're going to stop the U.S. Navy? Good luck. That's about all. Peace out.